Well, I wanted to visit churches in this area. We moved just a couple miles down the road. And I really like the spirit of the church here. You could feel the Lord's presence, and you could feel it in all the people. I'm Chris Dampier, and this is my wife, Becky. And I started visiting here at the church at First Baptist Mansfield back in February.
I think I visited once or twice, but it felt like home. I said, this is where I want to be.
I just recently joined in July of this year. I just felt, like she said, I felt at home in the life group, and I think my wife felt the same way when she got here and started visiting. A warmness in the people. We wanted to be a part of that.
It's like we've met this new huge group of friends that we haven't had the luxury to know in the past, and it's been very, very comforting being away from where I lived in Florida for my entire life in the same city. So this is like friends that I've known forever now. So it's very nice.
The Lord calls us to tithe, and we want to tithe no matter where we're at, whether we're in Florida or where we're here. I do work for the foundation, so I work with money and numbers all the time, and part of launch, not the biggest part, but part of launch is to get rid of our debt. And one thing a church does when you get rid of your debt, hopefully you're going to give more money to missions. And so that's very exciting to me. I've been on several mission trips, and that's what God calls us to do, is be on mission for Him. And you can't give as much to missions if you have debt. So that's, as a finance type guy, that's what excited me about it.
Prior to living here in Texas, I was the office manager at our church, and I did all our accounting and accounts payable and stuff like that. So I know where it goes, and I know what it does. And it's amazing to watch people give and, do what is important for God's works. It's what we're supposed to do. It's where my heart goes.
When we were, first married, we visited some churches and we'd give a little money, but we didn't tithe, and it wasn't a commitment for us to do that at that time. But God, over time, He matures us as Christians and realize the importance of that obedience to God. And you got to surrender your whole life to Him, and that includes your pocketbook as well. And there was times when we'd tithe years ago, and we were wondering how we were going to pay the bills at the end of the month. Something always showed up. God always took care of us. And so that's what led to the next step of hopefully to make a completely mature steward, if you would. Being part of launch here, just like we did some things at our previous church, you want to see what God's going to do, and God's going to do great things if you're faithful. Church, I would encourage you to be a part of launch. Again, giving your tithe, giving your above your tithe to God, you can watch Him and see what He'll do. It says in the Bible that if you trust God and you're obedient to Him, He will bless you. Now, it doesn't say you're going to be rich, but God will bless you in everything that you do if you take that step of faith with Him. And I can just feel the Lord Spirit in this church, and I can feel the Lord doing something here in this church, and I think in Mansfield. And we just wanted to be a part of that.